Now, let's say you've got your idea and you're starting to take the steps and everything. Should you come up with a business plan? Honestly, it sounds crazy, but yeah, coming up with a business plan is, in my opinion, pointless, to be honest. A business plan, because you're planning for something, but really and truly, you never really know. You never really know whether it's going to be succeed. And you can't plan for things to go wrong, right? And so I never have done a business plan for any of my businesses. Though I will do a mind plan, I will do it in my mind and I will know how I'm going to go about things. And I might write down, oh, I need to do X and X, but it's not a business plan necessarily. Because then what ends up happening is people waste so much time in coming up with a business plan that they actually forget on the things that really matter. And what does really matter is the numbers. And this is super important. So make sure you listen to this part because it's one of the key parts in this whole video, the numbers. Whatever business I'm going to start, I always look at the numbers. How much is something going to cost me? How much am I going to pay? How much am I going to make net profit? How much am I going to make gross profit? These things matter a lot. And so let's say, for example, you have a product. Let's say you've got a pen, okay? And this product can be whatever, but let's say you have a pen. Now, the pen costs you £5. Let's just keep the numbers very simple, right? The pen's going to cost you £5 and you want to make profit on that pen. And so you say, well, the pen's going to cost me £5. I'll sell it for £10. I'm now going to make £5. Actually, that's not true. Let me tell you why. Because you need to factor in packaging. You need to factor in deliveries. You need to factor in anything around getting that pen from the manufacturer to the customer. And that could involve taxes because there are taxes that you have to pay in the UK and they're called import taxes. And those vary massively and I will ask you to do research on that. But if you're bringing products in from China, if you're bringing products in from somewhere else, then you will have to pay taxes on those products when they come into the UK. But the point here is this, you have to factor in the cost completely and you have to factor in every single little thing. And I am not prepared to go ahead with the business until I completely understand how much it's going to cost me. So if I'm going to sell a product for £35, £40, and I will give you the prime example of me starting a gym clothing brand in the UAE, and I've mentioned this before, and don't worry, I'm not selling you anything, I'm just explaining I am starting a gym clothing brand in the UAE, I'm getting the product manufactured in Pakistan, and maybe I'm looking at manufacturers in China and Turkey as well. I will look at the cost. Let's say it cost me £5. I will look at the cost, I will look at packaging, I will look at taxes, I will look at deliveries, I will look at how much it's going to get the product from me, from the manufacturer to myself, and the product from me to the customer. And I will factor every single cost in. Now, assuming all that cost in now, it's going to cost me £9. Assuming that's going to cost me £9, then I want to be charging the customer, you know, 30, 35, £40, whatever that is. And then you know your profit is X. But then that could be your gross profit. If you're then going to pay salaries and stuff like that, then your net profit would be very different. And so you have to understand your numbers.